Hello guys, I hope you're having a lovely day. Today I'm redesigning an old OC, and if you've watched my reacting to old art video before, you may actually recognise her. She is the character that literally had no chin in the old drawing.
Oh no.
I made this character, no word of a lie, in a maths class when I was just 12 years old, so I had absolutely no real fundamental knowledge of how to create a fully developed character with an effective design. So going to university has helped me a lot with learning character design, but I have also been taking some concept art classes on Skillshare. So thank you Skillshare for sponsoring this video. And if you don't know already, it's an online video platform where you can learn new skills or improve upon ones that you already have. I've really enjoyed using the website, and I've been learning so many new techniques when it comes to digital art and character design in general. I really recommend Pacovo's class on character illustration and Melissa Lee's character design crash course, which both helped me so much for this video. They both work as illustrators, so both classes had really helpful industry standard advice to give, and I learned so much from them. So it was really in-depth and helpful for me, especially as someone who wasn't quite so versed on the topic. Even better, Skillshare is super affordable, with the annual subscription being less than $10 a month, and they were kind enough to supply 2 free months to the first 500 subscribers to click the link below. So click the link and start learning. So in the process of designing this character, I actually did go through several different initial iterations of what the hair could look like, and then when I narrowed it down to one of them, I then made more variants of that one hairstyle. I knew that I wanted to keep the high ponytail because she's a very tall, very elongated kind of looking character, and the high ponytail kind of accentuates that. So I sketched more ideas based on the hairstyle that I really liked. Also, I was streaming the whole process on my second channel, Jenna Boring, which you can subscribe to if you want. I do lots of behind the scenes videos, and there will be a link in the description if you want to come along to my live streams. And I had everyone in the live stream chat kind of vote on which designs they liked best. A lot of the time they would vote on something that they liked from one design and something they liked from the other, and we would kind of combine them together. I wanted to keep the fringe, and by fringe I mean bangs, because I felt like it kind of accentuated the face, and in the end we kind of went for this kind of geometric diagonal kind of fringe, which I really like, and it also subconsciously mimics the end of the arrow of her arrows because she's an archer. She does a lot of archery. She's very skilled with like a bow and arrow, so I wanted the fringe to very subconsciously reflect that. I know this sounds like I'm being a bit crazy, but if you look at the fringe you can kind of see what I mean. I also sketched a couple different face ideas, and we kind of went with one that was sort of like a mesh between two of them. As for the body, I kind of had time limits and constraints, so I didn't draw multiple body designs up. That's just because I know the character quite well. I know how I want her body to look. That was something I didn't want to redesign. I know that I want her to be tall and lanky. She's actually the only tall and lanky character in the comic. And when I do my character lineup, hopefully you'll be able to see there are lots of different body types within my comic. I think that's a nice way of making your characters quite different from one another by having them have different body types. Like, people come in all shapes and sizes, so I wanted her to be quite slim, quite tall, quite lanky. Another reason why I didn't want to spend too long drawing the body is because even though the design process takes a long time, I was just like itching to start my final painting. I think that's the reason why I'm so bad at keeping sketchbooks, because I like to create finished pieces. I don't like having to keep sketching. I want to make something final. So that's probably why I'm so bad at keeping to that. But then after that, I kind of went for a couple different designs outfit wise. We all had a little vote on which outfit we liked the best. And then we did several different color swatches. And we all ended up liking this one that was more green in the end, that had more green colours, lots of earthy kind of tones, because if she's an archer, she's going to be in the forest a lot. She kind of wants to blend in with the forest. So wearing the greens and the browns, those are the most common colours in the forest, obviously, because of the trees and the bushes and like the ground. So it will allow her to sort of blend in. It's nice kind of camouflage in a way. And also on this design, it actually had that kind of pop of colour with the white. I know that would kind of make her stand out a bit. I know that kind of goes against what I was saying before. But in terms of outfit design, it's nice. It kind of checks all the boxes because it isn't just really dull. There's also that little pop of brightness to it, which I do like. However, maybe if she was going to be trying to hide, she wouldn't wear something quite as bright like that white skirt. But yeah, I liked it for the initial kind of design, so that's why I went with those colours, and that's why the chat also voted for those colours in my live stream as well. As for the character's backstory, bear in mind that in a professional studio where they're working on a game or a film, a character will go through many different iterations before they finally decide on the finished character. What I've done is basically a mini version of the character creation process. I'm still very much hoping to make a video on how to design your own original character and the full process behind it. That will be a video for another day, but this is sort of more of a condensed how the ideation process works. But like I said, in a game or a film, a character will go through many different iterations. They'll draw up many different body types, many different hairstyles, until they kind of get the final design that they like. As for this character's backstory, I guess that has also been sort of redesigned in a way. She used to be a main character in my story. I used to write like stories online on a website called, oh my god, I can't even remember what it was called. It was called something like Quotev? Okay, yeah. I'm thinking I was using Quotev to write my story, and she was one of the main characters. She wasn't the protagonist, but she was sort of like a companion. And now in the comic that I'm making, she's like not even a side character, she's just a background character, so she's not that important, but she still has a cool story nonetheless. So in my comic, there are these kind of dark creatures of the forest, and they've been attacking the kingdom of Empkel, and no one knows why or where they came from. They shouldn't have like appeared, basically. This is like the worst explanation, I'm so sorry guys. But anyway, her parents are really suspicious about this whole thing. They really want to get to the bottom of why these creatures have started appearing and why they've started attacking innocent people. And one day, and I forgot to mention that her and her parents live in like this little cabin in the forest. So her parents were archers. They do all the kind of hunting for a lot of the food for the kingdom. Because I haven't got this written down. I'm really bad at telling the story. I'm so sorry guys. But anyway, her parents go off to kind of investigate, but they end up never coming back. And you end up wondering, are they dead? Are they gonna come back or what? Like, I'm not gonna say what happens, but basically her parents end up disappearing. She's a little bit worried, as you would be if your parents just disappeared after investigating these horrifying monsters. And she kind of takes it upon herself to get to the bottom of what happened to her parents and if they are okay and what is going on with all these monsters as well. But that's sort of like a background kind of story going on at the same time as the main quest line. But nonetheless, that gives you a little insight into her character, and also bear in mind that is all kind of subject to change as well. This is a constant work in progress story. I'm constantly making alterations and I'm constantly making redesigns like I did in today's video, which leads me on to another point, which is, do you want to see more character redesigns, and do you want me to talk about my process of having redesigned other characters in the past? Because I have had to redesign a lot of characters for this story because a lot of them came from when I was really young and didn't know how to make characters. So let me know if you guys like the new redesign or not. I personally am really happy with it. I think a lot more thought has gone into it, because before she just had this kind of like purple bodysuit with this weird kind of wood-like belt that was really thick, and it just didn't work, especially given her kind of character. Oh, I completely forgot to mention her character traits. So she's very shy and she's very introverted, and she doesn't really like, she's had quite a sheltered upbringing, so she hasn't really had much socialization with other people. So she's happier when she's in her element and she's hunting and she's using her bow and arrow and she's just on her own, you know, in the zone doing her own kind of thing. That's when she's at her happiest, and she's really uncomfortable when it comes to having to talk to people. But I kind of wanted to reflect her shyness in my drawing of her, which is why her body language is a little bit, she's kind of shrugging a little bit, she's kind of a little bit closed off. That was one of the things I didn't like so much about this drawing, is I didn't really like the anatomy, how it turned out in the end, and I don't really know. But I didn't really have time to fix that. However, one thing that I did have time to fix was the ear, because the ear on our left is definitely sticking out way too much. Like, you would not be able to see that much of it from the angle we're looking at her. So don't worry, I did go in and I did fix that right near the end. Anyway, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you again in the next one. Bye guys.